ingredients of its own and every other martial art. This all-embracing art was named Aikido, which is characterized by Takemusу Aiki, or martial Aiki. What then was the founder's concept of Aikido? Here's a lesson worth remembering. When you are lost, get back to basics. Through this movie, we want to take another look at Aikido with the eyes of an unspoiled beginner. Suburi is an act of swinging a wooden sword about 1 meter long, up and down without your partner. It is a basic exercise embodying the secrets of Japanese swordsmanship. Swing the sword over your head with your left hand holding the rear end of the hilt and your right hand touching the forward part lightly. As you swing the sword down, start gripping it with the little finger, followed by the other fingers. By so doing, the sword will stay within the center line of the body. Such suburi helps the trainee build a stabilized posture in taijutsu, or empty-handed Aikido exercises. This form of suburi requires twisting your hips as you draw your right foot back and swinging the sword over your head while staying clear of the line of your opponent's thrusting attack. Tanden ichi is a more effective exercise than suburi in stabilizing your hips because you have to have a firm hold on the sword and lower your hips to avoid being repelled. The secret of this kokyu-ho lies in splitting and imparting the ken gripping art to your both hands. This exercise cannot be performed properly unless your hands, feet, and other parts of the body act in unison. This kokyu-ho, which is a must in day-to-day Aikido training, serves to build by degrees abdominal breath power and establish a complete interface between suburi and taijutsu. Here's a concrete example demonstrating the relationship between suburi and taijutsu. The fairly firm hold applied by the opponent goes unheeded altogether. As shown here, the suburi motions can be applied to taijutsu without the slightest difficulty because of their harmonious blend and freedom from conflict with the force of the opponent. This particular exercise is called shihou nage. Aligning your toes and turning your body the minute the holding starts is called urawaza, or turning technique. Shihou nage, as a matter of fact, is the outgrowth of the Japanese fencing art. Aikido techniques, be they omotewaza or urawaza, are essentially designed to cope with multiple attacks. The techniques, of course, can equally be applied to one attacker as well. Kotegaeshi, or wrist twist, which also bears resemblance to the Japanese fencing art, is being introduced here after omotewaza and urawaza. Body movements required at a time when you are surrounded by enemies on all sides can also be explained with a theory of the Japanese fencing art. Intensive study is required regarding a variety of irimi, or entering techniques, and body turns. Aikido is taijutsu translated from the Japanese fencing art, and vice versa. This film is going to introduce awase-ho, or how to blend your ki, or spiritual energy, with your opponent, kumitachi, or sword engagements in partner practice and its variations, as well as tachidori, or sword taking. Awase means blending your ki with your partner's. As a consequence, your movements are synchronized with his. Awase-ho, introduced here, is mainly an analyzed version of Takemusu no tachi, or ki blending swordsmanship. It features ample use of the body to augment the effectiveness of ken, as typified in irimi, or entering movements into the rear of the partner. Awase-ho requires a good amount of training as a prerequisite to the next, more sophisticated exercise, kumitachi. This is kumitachi. Kimusubi no tachi. First kumitachi. Second kumitachi. Third kumitachi. Fourth kumitachi. Fifth kumitachi. These represent a series of kumitachi variations. From ichi no tachi, or first sword demonstration, to go no tachi, two variations each are demonstrated. A variation of the first strike and another variation of the second strike. These variations are instantly adaptable to taijutsu, the kunitachi techniques, when implemented according to the principle of aiki, ramify into all sorts of variations, bringing under control the arm, elbow, and foot of your opponent. These varied techniques are considered most suitable in making your opponent aware that might is not everything. Aikidori is a sword-taking technique which is applied when you have to face your opponent empty-handed. This technique calls for advancing rightward with your right foot or leftward with your left foot in a move to subdue your opponent. There is no set rule as such governing the body movements in this regard. These movements are really free and uninhibited. However, kokyu nage, or abdominal breath throw, kotegaeshi, and irimi techniques are all based on the principle of aiki, which purports a blending of your and your opponent's feet. Aikidori may be regarded as a process of transition to taijutsu. It also could be a process of letting us discard our inclination to depend on arms. Aikido shall not be treated as a sport, for the simple reason that the art lumps together in an undistinguishable lot those techniques which are dangerous and those which are not. The severity of the art requires serious and earnest training. Because of such characteristics, Aikido will constantly provide its trainees with a major guideline toward attainment of their objectives.